Welcome back to The Sims 4. I'm Kyle, and today we're doing some more touring of our Victorian Newcrest build. Today, I want to do the apartments, I want to do this duplex, and this here is an orphanage. So we are going to cover all three of those today. I'm going to show you families that I have not yet shown you. But let's just get started. Welcome to the Fern Park Apartments here. They are directly next to the Newcrest Funeral and Shops and the Midtown Meadows shops. A lot of the retailers that work at the Newcrest shops especially live in these apartments. So I want to start touring through just the front door. We've got a lot to get to today. You're walking into the front door here. We come right into the lobby. A storage area. I want to show you the front door here. Folks moving in potentially. This room we're going to go in is the owner's room, so I'm going to show you guys their information super quick before we go in. I want to start with the owners here. This is the Fern family. We have Boris, Juliana, and Sasha. The Fern family has owned the Fern Park Apartments for generations. Guests only ever see Juliana and Boris caring for the entire place. Juliana is quiet but helpful, and Boris is handy but a bit standoffish. There are whispers about a secret son who lives on the third floor. Some guests say that they've seen him make repairs around the complex late at night, and others say that the room on the third floor is just for storage. Welcome back. Okay, we are going to go through this door. This is their apartment. This is mother and father's apartment. They own the place. They keep it very neat and very tidy. They do a lot of their own cooking and cleaning. Here's their little restroom. A lot of these places are going to be detailed but very petite. And there's actual plumbing in this building. Not every single unit, I believe, has plumbing, but this one does. This is their tiny little apartment. That is all there is to see. I'm going to turn us around, find your Nasha, and let's go straight back out the door. There is one other apartment on this first level. This one does not have an inhabitant yet. No one lives here. If you have any ideas on what kind of family lives here, you know where to send them. Okay, let's go through the door. Got some cooking happening in the kitchen, a little restroom over here, a little washroom. They're taking care of some greens by the fire, a little recipe book, and the family at least includes an infant and one child or teenager. Little storage and their dining room. Turn us around, and that is all there is to see in this one. When you come out this front door, there's some stairs that lead up, but we're gonna turn. We're gonna go to our left through this door here. It's a little city. It's got a bit of drinks for you to grab, some tea, a nice fireplace, easel, and a bookshelf. I wanted to make it a little functional space so it wasn't just sitting there. If we go to our right and leave through this door, if you watched the previous one, you'll remember that this is a little community area. Got some chickens, some playground equipment, and some gardening equipment. It can get used by either the shops over there or the apartments that are behind us over here. We can come through there and see the rest of the yard. Got a bit of litter there and our outhouse. Let's go check the outhouse out just super quick. It's nothing crazy in here. Just a little potty area. Totally do not know if it's functional, but it sure looks good. There are quite a few outhouses on the gallery. I did make this one, but I took inspiration from a few that were on there. Here's just a couple merchant spots just to fill in this space. It seemed really naked. When you start getting everything so jam-packed in here, when you have gaps, it starts looking awful naked. I am going to start getting us inside though, and I will see you guys when we start heading upstairs. We're coming up and around, and we're going to the fishmonger's house. This is Frederick's house, his wife Fleur, and his son Pascal. His wife has a lovely garden started in the front. We've got our number by the door, and I want to give you guys their description really fast. Here's the Willemsen family. We have Isaac, Frederick, Fleur, and Pascal. Starting with Isaac, he is the owner of the toy shop next door. He lives on the 3rd story of the Fern Park Apartments. His twin brother Frederick is a fisherman who stocks the nearby grocers and butchers. He lives on the 2nd story with his wife Fleur, his son Pascal. Fleur is tired of smelling like fish and dreams of a home in the countryside. Pascal can't stop daydreaming and reading questionable literature. This is their front door, and I want to show you guys where they live. Our first apartment here has a bit of decoration right inside the door. This lovely cross stitch is from the gallery. It's peeking a little bit through the ceiling, but that is a-okay. Their shelves are stocked high. They are obviously prepping some fish for sale. Some crates of fish. Ooh, some crawfish getting cleaned out in the sink here. Got their liquor stacked up above the fridge. A bit of dinner for themselves. And I want to take you guys through the first room here. This, I believe, is Pascal's room. Yes, he has a little bit of fish going on in here, but I can imagine he doesn't necessarily love it. His father kind of forces it upon him. He has his telescope there, his study area, and oh, what did I see there? Let's go down. Oh, are those little secret books? Yes, they are. They're little naughty books. He has to hide them. He's a very hopeless romantic. He loves reading all of his romance novels and kind of hiding away. But heading out back into the living room, next door to Pascal's room, we have our itty-bitty restroom. I suppose is gigantic compared to a lot of the restrooms thus far. But they do pretty well for themselves. Little candle side by the bathtub. Head back through here, and then the final double doors lead to Friedrich and Fleur's room. They've got some more cross stitching up there done by his lovely wife, some fish traps, some folded laundry, a lovely view of the garden. You can see each bedside table. This is his side. This is her side. And they have a lovely little floral wallpaper. I think their house is just so comfy cozy. I really had a lot of fun in these smaller spaces. I feel like you can fit a lot of personality. Well, that's the end of their home. And directly beside them, we have the Archuleta household. So I'm going to show you them super quickly. Here we have the Archuleta family. We have Athena and we have Finnegan. Finnegan has made his art and lived quietly on the 2nd floor of the Fern Park Apartments for years now. He took a fishing trip last month, and when he came back, he began acting strangely. Some of his neighbors say that they've caught glimpses of a woman in his apartment, but he's blocked out most of the windows now. Residents are also reporting they hear loud howling from behind his door, but maybe they should mind their own business. This is the outside of the Archuleta's house. They do not have anything outside, nothing in the hallway. Here is through the front door. Oh no, it looks a mess. Some beautiful artwork, but everything has been utterly destroyed. Garlic is all over the door for protection. There's little paw prints happening all over the floor, scratches, some meat cooking on the fire, paint and easels everywhere. Mr. Archuleta definitely just had his transformation. You can see him and his lady love are kind of having a bit of a rager in here. You know what I'm saying? They're having a little fun in here. He's getting a little hairy, so he's kind of needing that little bit of extra razor attention. Maybe wasn't loving what he was seeing for that mirror smash. He's blocked out all of his windows. These absolutely destroyed rooms are so beyond fun to make. I highly recommend it, whether it's vampire, werewolf, ghost, whatever. It is the season. Get ooky, get spooky. But that is all there is to see for the Archuleta household. I'm going to bring us back through this front door and send us next door. We are going to go across to the seamstress's house. This is a little bit of toys from her children. They've had a little bit of fun out here. She lets them kind of run around the hallways. She's very busy. I'm going to send you guys to go ahead and look at their gallery posting really quick. Here is the original upload of the Stewart family with Chelsea, Zachariah, Adeline, Madeline, and Lillian. But the gallery upload will have Chelsea, Adeline, Madeline, and Lillian. Chelsea runs the tailor shop at the Newcrest Funeral and Shop and lives with her 3 children on the 2nd floor of the Fern Park Apartments. She used to run the shop with her husband, but he recently died in a large fire. It took their old family home and forced the remaining family into the city. Since their arrival, twins Adeline and Madeline have argued even more than usual, and baby Lillian won't stop escaping. And now we are going to go inside. This is their home where she lives with her children, the twins, and then the baby. Their other house burnt down, but they did salvage a few things. It's quite the small space for so many people, but they make it work. Getting their homework done, a few toys. Their kitchen is fully stocked. Oh, hi, Tulamod. So when you don't have tool mod, I'll use this as an opportunity to show you guys. You can see there's a bit of a gap. This is a half gap. If you go into tool mod, you can type in the 0.05 distance that is in between these jars and the refrigerator. But when you do not have that, the movement of the bits when you do the bracket keys only goes a full step. So it would be either half through the fridge or half above the fridge. And it looks like I chose for this one half above the fridge. So very cool. But I did use tool to turn the spoon. It's so funny what I chose to do and what I didn't choose to. If we're looking right here, here's the baby's crib. They've got a bottle, they've got some diapers, a bit of dirty clothes. Each of the twins has a few toys on their bed, a few drawings just to make the space their own. And Mama Bear sleeps right there, and she's got her work things right beside her, as well as a cup of tea because Mama's tired and she needs a little relaxing. This is the entirety of the seamstress's home. We're going to turn around and keep going along. Besides the seamstress is our last empty spot. It is furnished for a family to be in there, but the family has not been made yet, so we do not need to go on a gallery tour of it. They've got a little wreath with some blueberries here through the front door. We've got some bunk beds, our double bed, some laundry, a bit of rugs on the floor, space for umbrellas, our tootlet, and they're just preparing some food. Their kitchen is pretty spacious compared to the last one we saw, but still decently petite. They've got some good storage happening there and some food preparation. That's all there is to this one. This is our way out. And now all we need to do is go upstairs. Here is the sitting area for the final floor. I want to put up just a little bit more. Yeah, that should do. A little bit of ceiling clipping, but that's okay. This build has done really well with the glitches. I haven't noticed a ton this time around. There's not as many narrow hallways, but the rooms are pretty small, so I'm pretty pleased. This is Tabitha Tranquil's home, the mortician's assistant. I'm going to send you guys to her gallery post super quick. Here we have the Tranquil family. This is the big upload that has everybody, so they have the familiar relations. But Tabitha here is the only one who lives in the apartment complex, and we'll cover her parents a little bit later. But here is Tabitha. She lives on her own, and she is the mortician's assistant. She's the daughter of the Tranquil family and a resident on the 3rd floor of the Fern Park apartment. Tabitha just moved out on her own, and now she's hearing a voice from the other side of her apartment wall. Is that singing? It sounds like a person, but no one lives next door, and the room is blocked off. Maybe they'll meet and become friends. Maybe more. Let's just go through her front door. Phew. Her study area is right by the front door, filled with her quills, her pens, her books. Her bathing area is right in here. It's very aesthetic. I would kind of love this. Even with the bucket toilet. No, I couldn't survive a bucket toilet. I don't think I could. Our way out. Here again is her front door. She's got her little kitchen right next to it. Some letters she needs to send. That is just a regular cauldron, really shrunk down. Some firewood prepared for both of the stoves. Here is her sleeping area. She's got a book and her little notepad by the bed. Her dress is hung up here, and the remainder of her kitchen is on this side. She's got her little dining room table in the middle, and her kitchen is kind of split across 2 areas. I want to pull our attention, though, right through here. This is where Tabitha is hearing her noises. It's right in this corner. She's blocked it off just in case. We're going to zoom and we're going to creep down in here. A window! This is the second room we're going to go in, and we're going to go in through this little hole. This is Sasha's space, and Sasha and Tabitha have sort of started to fall in love. He gets kind of locked in here until the middle of the night when he is sent out to go do repairs. But him and Tabitha have built a little window so they can talk to each other and become very close friends. So this is Sasha's workspace. This is his living space. He only goes out at night when no one is really moving around. He has his workbench that he'll pull aside when he needs to leave the room. He's got his little chess buddy that he had to use before he met Tabitha. And a simple sitting area, a toilet, and his little sculptures. He stores a lot of his sculptures over here. And if we noticed in Tabitha's room, I'm going to bring us through this wall one more time. Mind your head. I'm going to turn us around, and these little hearts are gifts from him to her. He loves woodwork, and he loves dead bodies. They're a perfect match. I'm going to bring us into the hallway through Tabitha's front door, since that was the end of Sasha's room. Sasha's room is all blocked off by the mirror and some paintings. He moves everything aside when he needs to, or he'll just climb out through Tabitha's room now. Our little sitting area, and the final apartment for this section of the tour. Remember, we're going to do 2 other builds left in this. This is our toy maker. He's got a tiny little bunny there. Hi, guy. Hi, little guy. Gonna go right on through. This is Isaac's house. He is Frederick's twin brother, and he owns the toy shop. I spoke a little bit about it before, but his interest in toys is entirely sweet, is entirely lovely. He loves children. He thinks they are just the darn coolest, most imaginative little creatures in the whole planet, and nothing nefarious. The rest of the buildings next door may be a little nefarious, but his is the only one that is pure of heart. He has some baking goods out, some storage, a quick walk over to his shop next door. His toilet is just quick right there because you've got to put it somewhere. And here is his work area. You can see how much time and dedication he puts to all of these stacks of boxes he's going to ship out and send to his stores. All of the dolls that are still in progress, the doll heads that are right here with their paintbrushes. He makes himself sleep in this little cozy corner with all of his awards and his idea notebook, a little bit of water. But the rest of his apartment is dedicated to his craft. And last video, I talked a bit about the toy maker reference that I wanted to invoke with him. And this is kind of the section that I want to capture that energy the most. This little wolf is getting a bit of a repair, but this is the area that captures how much work he puts into this, how many toys he creates. So fun. I love this spot. I think he is such a lovely townie. He is so bubbly and definitely brings a lighter air than a lot of the other townies that we have. Speaking about those other townies that are pretty dark and funky, we are going to go exit this building. So mind your eyeballs, don't get nauseous. Oh, wrong way. We are going to say goodbye to these apartments. And we're going to head right over here to this duplex. Remember, if you needed to see these shops or these shops, those are in our last video already up. It's like 50 minutes long. Sorry about that. This one will probably also be long. So I want to see you guys at the duplex. This is the Oak Victorian duplex. I have a few variations of this duplex up on the gallery. I know I have one of them where half of it is Alexander Goths and half is Cassandra Goths, and a few other modern renditions of it. But in this rendition, this half is for the couple of Ludovica and Servino, who are next door at the barber shop and the pub. And our other half of the duplex is the oddity shop owner, who is from the same, who is from the same duplex next door. Let's start over here at Ludovica and Servino's place. These are the vampires who sell the meat pies made out of people, vis-a-vis very Sweeney Todd. I'm going to send you guys over to the gallery description. I know some of you might have heard it in the last video, but here's a refresher. These are Edvige's children. We have Vincenzo. I think I said Vincenzo. I think it's Vincenzo. I'm going to say Vincenzo. So this is Vincenzo Bruno. This is Ludovica. And this is Servino. Vincenzo is the mortician and the funeral director. Ludovica runs the pub. And Servino, her husband, runs the barber shop upstairs. Twins Vincenzo and Ludovica inherited shops in the Newcrest funeral and shops. They've made a few changes to the spaces. The pub began selling the most delicious meat pies, and now they've started running a few extremely lucrative businesses. We're coming through their front door into their kitchen and living area. Let's start off over here facing the front door in their living room. Lots of curtains. A little bit of fizzy plasma juice, a cow plant. And looking over to the right is their kitchen. We've got some bills, some paper, a recipe book of their own, and some hearts that they're preparing for dinner. A little bit of garlic by the sink. You never know when you're gonna need it. Looking over at these three doors, we're going to start over here. This is their music room. It's pretty simple. It just has their instruments and a place to observe. A little bit of lighting and some more curtains. Next door is their library. It's another very small room. These houses are very slender. Their library is very dark. Their windows are partially covered. Very ethereal. Next, this is our restroom that has been converted into a closet. You can see the tiles that remain here from the old restroom, and then their clothing that takes up the remainder of the space. The first story here is pretty petite, so let's go ahead and head upstairs. Up here is their sleeping quarters and a balcony that they can use at night, a little chess table. Here is their sleeping area. Has a dresser, a mirror that they can't see themselves in, and their coffin. I assume that they take turns. Whoever needs to sleep can go ahead and hop in there. If they need to do a little woohoo, they can hop in at the same time. Very heavy curtains hanging around, and a little decoration, some study materials, and another bookshelf, because when you are a vampire, you have a lot of time to read. There is not much else on this top story. I want to show you guys their patio that they can use at night. Has a little bar and a little sitting area. Their backyard. The backyard for both of these doesn't have much in it, just some leaves. There's not a lot of easy way to access this, so I didn't figure they would put much on it. I'm going to bring us to the front of the house. Here is the oddity collector's home. I can go ahead and send you guys over to the gallery to look at him super quickly. Here is the original upload of our oddity shop with Paulina, his wife, and Jack, the oddity shop owner. Here is the gallery upload. Jack owns the Oddity and World Goods shops on the second floor of the Newcrest Funeral and Shops. He lives at the Oak Duplex next door. Jack has lived a long, full life of people, knowledge, and material things. He married once, at a very young age, but they never had children, and she left him as a widower after a very short marriage. Jack is very friendly, but very private. He loves his friends and chatting, but never invites anyone to his home, only to the local pubs or to his work office. His upload will also be with the vampires on the gallery, but let's go ahead and start going through the front door. His house is a lot messier than his shop is. It's just him in here, so he doesn't take care of it much. Here's the front storage area. He has decorations scattered just about everywhere. Some art that he's created. A wine glass and a book so he can watch over the neighborhood. The mess is the main reason he doesn't ask people to come and join him at his home very frequently. Here is his kitchen, the cauldron for a little bit of cooking. Some art stored here just for lack of space, and here is his cooking area. This is definitely an example of a non-functional stove. If you wanted to use this space, you'd have to clear a lot out, including this shelf, everything on it, possibly that shelf and everything on it, everything here, and this room. Let's go ahead and go into some of these rooms here. This is his bathroom. He's using his tub more for cleaning and for washing off artifacts than for his own body. Some sponge baths are fine. He's got a few things stacked up on the ground over here. And some more art hung up on the walls. Next door to the restroom is his sleeping room. He has his toilet in here, a bed, a machete because he's paranoid, and then his journal to keep his thoughts in check. Beside his room, once you go past the artwork here, you start to get a little bit more of his backstory. You see a crib, a little toy box, a dresser, a mirror shattered. His gallery upload does not include his wife, although she was created, as you guys saw, and if you guys want a family where she is, I can upload that. But they never did have any kids, and she passed away fairly young, and that is what you guys will see coming upstairs. He doesn't come up here much anymore. You can see all the spider webs strewn about, and if you go into the one room that is up here, it is just as it stayed while she was ill. All of the get well cards, her urn is there, so she can stay right by her bed where she rested. Spot where he sat. Over here we've got some medicine, a little poem book, a doll that potentially she would have used for comfort. Once you explore his space, he does not just steal artifacts and take advantage of those who are less fortunate than him. His wife is also dead, so cut him some slack. But everything was just as it was. That is the last room. I'm going to show you guys his balcony, which he also has not touched since she left, thus the distressing. And we are almost done looking at this street. We have successfully done here, the apartments back here, and this building here. This is our next stop we're going to look at, the final stop on the end of the street. So I'm going to go to Manage Worlds and we will be right back. I have clicked onto our final building. This is the orphanage at the end of the block. When you look to our right, it continues into kind of, it looks like a residential area. And we've got our little canal right there. But we made sure to have a super tall fence because we do not trust children near canals. We're coming in through the front door and we're going to go straight to our right. Through here is the front office. We've got some case files out on the table, a few books, a few boxes of storage, some nice curtains, a few chairs just in case there's some troublesome children. But this is where the sister works for the most part. Coming out this way is towards the front door again. And now we can go straight across the hallway to our dining room and our learning area. This is where the kids have their lessons, whether it be music lessons, geography, math, sciences, everything. And then they clear it all off to have their supper. Here's a bit of the artwork and their crafting tools. It's a really small space. There's not a lot of kids, only a couple high chairs. And when we turn around and go back through this door, it's our kitchen. It's a pretty bright kitchen in here. There's some stools so the kids can help chop everything up and get their practice in with their little cutting knife, a little practice knife there. They're starting some stew for dinner. They've got bread prepared, some ingredients for storing. There is behind us towards the door we came through. And when we go through this spot, we get to see the children's play area outside. They've got a fake little tent with a little survival bucket. And they've got a small little makeshift swing set there. We can go back inside here. And if we creep through these doors, it brings us back into the hallway. Once you hop out of the kitchen, you're going to hop straight through this door into the downstairs bathroom. Just a little toilet and a sink and some storage. That's all she wrote in here. I'm gonna hop back outside. That is the front door that we came in through. And then their uniforms, their outside jackets are stored over here. And their shoes are stored underneath here. A little bit of extra storage underneath stairs, and let's go up. Here we are rounding the corner, just one little chess table, and I'll show you the outside deck first. The kiddos are getting started with planting. They're getting ready. There's some carrots and green beans getting ready to be planted. And here are their tools that they're going to use. Coming back through here, we're going to start with the children's room. It is straight across through the double doors. They have the biggest space because there's quite a few of them. We've got 2 toddler beds here, each with some toys and some books by it. One of them has snuck a few feathers by his bed. Over on this side, we have our or our children. This one has snuck a little bit of money, their diaries right here. They've got a script and a notebook. They're hoping they're dreaming a bigger thing. Over here we have an artist. They've got a letter they're writing to someone. They've got their art that they've worked on. The chest for their personal belongings. And here's our infant crib. A few toys there. Some linen storage right here. So we're coming in through this door and we're going to find the joint upstairs bathroom. All of their bathrobes are hung up. We have toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, a couple stools just in case. And the toilets and bathtubs are over here. The toilets has a little cup for rinsing yourself off. There's a little toddler potty and one more big potty over here. This door exits to the hallway. This last door leads us into the sister's room that she shares with the only little newborn. She has her diary and her worship journal there. Those are their deities up here. She's got some medicine and some basic things in the cabinet, but overall her room is really comfortable and pretty small, so she can't fit much. But that is the last bit. Here we're gonna go all the way up so we can look over our neighborhood. We have toured the entirety of this Newcrest section. We've done our shops, our groceries, our apartment, our duplexes, our orphanage. We're gonna do some fun residential stuff next. We'll tour those families, see a lot of the big houses for those that we haven't seen yet. But just like last time, if this has inspired you to do any Victorian build yourselves, or you have done one in the past, let me know below. Have any ideas about what we should in this town? There's still a few spots left, and we have all the other worlds to get through as well. That is everything I have for you today, so bye.